that with yeah, person taking it. Do you feel that you found something at least on the offensive end that was not there and
Me?
Yeah,
Sure.
you're older. You get the first one.
You just call me old?
Yeah.
It's crazy. There was just more fight. I think people were a little bit more comfortable. We had a really great week of practice. People were committed to just getting better, and that's what you want to see. It's obviously we want to get a win. At the same time, you need to see the growth and improvement. And I think that week of practice, watching film, breaking it down, and having to get the extra shots and extra conditioning, whatever it was, really helped us, compete tonight.
Anything that's still better for like you can. I mean, it seemed like that those two games were like 90 minutes.
This is what happens on an injury rehab, I feel like. I think that, like Jewel said, the week of practice for me was pretty good just because I was able to have extra time to kind of, like, we're new, right? There's a lot of new phases here. So the moment you get into a game, and preseason games are one thing, but the moment you get into a game and, you come into the first game, it's on ABC, you're playing the defending champs, it comes at you fast. And we've got a lot of players who haven't really been in, that position before. And so we didn't play the way that we wanted to do. And now that you have one under your belt, there's a different level, different feeling, a different comfort. And I think that was something we worked on at practice this week was let's execute on the offensive end. These are really great places to get Jewel a shot. These are really great places to get myself a shot. This is where we want to get our bigs posted up on the inside. And we executed those against ourselves and against the practice guys and translated it really well today. But I think the biggest thing was the resiliency in the fight that we had. Score 91 points to give yourself a chance to win any game this league.
Yeah, I talked to you on Zoom a couple days ago, and you're talking about kind of building your confidence as your shots are going in more and more in this game. Like, how did that confidence grow?
Yeah, just putting them up when I'm open and not second guessing it. I don't need a whole lot of time and space to do it. But also I didn't want to be an offensive liability. And I felt like that was something that I struggled with a little bit in that first game. And you could sink off me and throw another defender at Jewel. And, I think we know how important it is offensively to have the spacing. And I think even when Sammy's out there, her ability to knock down the three ball, a dagger rate is important as well, just to kind of create that spacing for us as guards to get downhill and for our bigs on the inside to be able to go to work. And so, it was nice to see the first one go in. That was nice. That always helps a little bit and see a couple, but there was one practice this week that I saw quite a few of them go in, and at that point it was just like, all right, you can still do it.
And then Jewel, you have 30 points tonight. He has 20, as he has 15 and 12 rebounds. Is that kind of a formula that you guys need to build off of?
Why not? I honestly think just it's how we practice. She's working her butt off in practice. Same with Ezzy. I think everyone is coming to their own, and we're still learning each other a lot. I think we talk the most, so we're kind of learning a little bit faster on how we like to play together. But yeah, I mean, why not? I think we have a lot of players on this team that can step up every night, depending on matchups, depending on our system. And that's why I think our system is unique to us, because it's built for every single player on this team, not just for 3 people or 2 people. We have very dynamic people. So once people get comfortable, I think we'll see a big dynamic, but I think we'll have some consistency sooner than later.
And credit to Kyla Charles. She stepped up big today, right?
Huge.
Came in and played 4, not what she's used to doing, but did a great job defensively for us as well out there. So that's what she's saying. We can have people step up in different roles when we need them to.
As good as y'all were offensively, took some good basic part of the
I mean, defense is going to be our bread and butter. We know that. And, I think at first we're a little timid, we're a little slow. And then we locked in, and we always talk about getting 3 stops in a row, finding momentum. And I think honestly, as you got a block, they ended up calling a foul, but that block sent us like, oh crap. All right. We're locked in. I think after that, we got a couple stops in a row. But yeah, I mean, defense is what we're not satisfied with our defense tonight, obviously. But that's something that we want to really lock in on and be our something we can always fall back on regardless of what goes on the offensive side.
And we're sending different coverages. I think that was something we did a lot today was we changed our coverages a couple times. I'm not giving you what those coverages were, but we did for every single quarter really kind of change it up and change it based on, who was in the game with us. And some of those lineups we had, are quicker lineups. So it's easier to fly around a little bit more, rotate a little bit harder. And so some of that stuff is going to be a feel for the game as well, understanding matchups, who's a good shooter, if you're going to rotate off a good shooter versus, play percentages and that kind of stuff. That'll come as we keep working together and understanding each other's rotation patterns, but we will throw different types of defense at different people. And I mean, we threw different defenders at Enrique as well, right? And tried to change it up that way too.
And would just that take time recognition, and that will speed up when players recognize different matchups, things that didn't close out, and that's just going to take some time.
Yeah, that's essentially what you do in training camp, right? Build your basic defensive coverages, run with those and see how far that can take you, and then understand maybe we build on one extra thing, right? Maybe we add a second rotation. Maybe we add someone dropping down on this side. Maybe we say this person's going to trap every single time. As we continue to go, we'll start to see a little bit more of that understanding and coverages, because if we're new, and the more that you throw at people, the more you have to think about coverages, the harder it is. So a lot of it is reps and tendencies as well.
I want to ask you what those reps and tendencies the offense is going to come, because as you said, not wanting to be an offensive liability, you both are really active in looking for your shots and creating your own, and it seems some teammates maybe are a bit more reluctant. Is that maybe just some of the rookiness coming with age, or does that have something to do with the game plan?
I just think it's just comfortability. I think it's new people trying to figure out, what to do. Obviously everyone on the team knows how to score the basketball, has been playing basketball for a long time. They've been overseas and played whatever it is. But I think it's just understanding their role. But you have something that's brand new, you're kind of timid. And once you kind of lock in and understand what you're supposed to be doing, you play free. Right now, we're still trying to figure it out. Even for us, like there's times where we're like, should I shot that? You should shoot that. Like, I don't, we're still figuring out ourselves. And we've been in the league, right, for a minute. So, cause she's called me old, but
like a 3-year difference.
It's weird. So I just think people are just getting comfortable. And every day I see in their faces, how they walk in the locker room, how they come to practice, like they're getting more confident, but it takes some time. And so, we have to be patient, and I think we're better today than we were last game, right? And so you see little bits and pieces come together. So we're going to build off this and, we'll get there.
Can you share a little bit how you were encouraging the conversation you guys were having, that time?
Yeah, I just need beep, beep, beep. I need to stay on her, first day when she came in, I asked her, how does she take information? What does she need from me? And she's like, I need you to stay on me. I'm like, okay. So that was me being a leader and, thanks. And, just being honest with her, she has so much potential, and for her, it's just being able to stop thinking and just play. She has this, she doesn't want to let anyone down. She's playing like a rookie, right? But she won't be like that for long, and I'm sure of it. So my job is to stay on top of her and bring the best version out of her. And I know it's there.
So what are the greatest takeaway you guys are getting from this loss, and how are you going to apply going forward? And what was some, because this isn't your first loss of the season either, so
Thanks. Yeah, thanks. No, you're good. Yeah, just shut up. It's fine. It's fine. It's life.
Was there anything taken from the previous game as well that you tried to apply to this one, and how did that play out?
I'll lose by 40.
Yeah, that was big. Yeah, that was big. Don't lose by 40.
I don't know. We were here. We were present. We fought, and I think that was a big difference. Is that we weren't, just taking punches. We threw some. We had some fight in us, and we ran the floor. We were able to move the ball. We felt like we were in this game all the way to the end. I mean, we're one rebound away from having a shot at winning, so for us, it's the confidence building. Every possession is confidence building. Every timeout, us is getting better, us just communicating. So every game, you're going to take away something, but for us, it's showing the fight that regardless of what anyone thinks outside of this locker room, like we know who we are, and we're going to live on that, and we're going to compete every night.
Thought our pace was better today, and we want to play with pace, and everybody says that now, the way the basketball's going. It's like, we're going to play with pace. We're going to run up and down. We're going to get a lot of like open threes in transition, but there's a balance between playing with pace and super, super fast and playing with pace and getting into a half court set, occasionally executing that. I thought we executed our ATOs and everything that was drawn up in the huddles really well today. We got good open looks, and being part of building that confidence is having open looks, because everybody in this league is a pro for a reason. We can all knock down open shots. And so that's a big piece of it as well. And I just think the big thing that Joel had mentioned was being comfortable. And every time you play a game in this league, you get a little bit more comfortable. Even if that game is an uncomfortable game for you personally, you can build off of that and get to the next one. And that's something I think we have to take with us. We're really fun in the locker room, so we're going to keep that energy.
Either of you, I thought it was a noticeable difference what Sammy brought in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, that's Sammy. She comes in, she's ready to go all the time. You know, she could get hot at any moment. I think her just ability to constantly talk. I mean, she's been here. This is, you know, she knows this gym, she knows this people, the vibe, energy, all that stuff. So when she talks, we all listen. And she knows how to get going. So she's a big leader on this team, and she knows how to change momentum. So you know, Sammy, that's who Sammy is.
One, I think it's your last one, down to was out of the game. What did you guys want to get on that possession? And what did you fight?
You know, I could tell you, if I could remember it. I know what possession you're talking about. We had a play drawn up. We ended up getting a shot out of it. And then got the O board, and then kind of ended up in a little bit of a scramble. Typically when we're in those O board situations, we usually end up finding Jewel, right? And have her in that situation. You know, I think we got what we got out of it. And at the end of the day, if you're in that situation, you have to play it confidently. And without Jewel on the floor at that time, we had a matchup with AG. AG's a really good one-on-one basketball player. You know, we got a shot off of it. And then it just, you know, came down to one offensive rebound. Didn't come down to it. There's a lot of plays in the game that got us there. But, you know, that was kind of the game switcher. So I couldn't remember the play, but we drew it up and got a shot. So that happened. I can't remember what happened yesterday. So don't ever ask me to remember anything. I'm terrible at it.
Yeah, I thought some good things from this group. A lot of fight, especially in the second half. I thought a lot of big plays by Ezzy, specifically just her activity. Obviously, Jewel keeping us in the game with some tough shots, and Sammy coming in down the stretch and managing the team. So a lot of good things to build on. Dallas is a very strong team, and I thought our effort was there. So I'm proud of our group for the fight that they displayed tonight.
Do you think you guys found something, especially on the offensive end with Jewel and Kia and Ezzy kind of just going off of each other?
Yeah, I think Kia was in rhythm, and when she's able to hit threes and space the floor, I think then those lanes are a little bit more open, especially for Jewel getting to the rim. And when Ezzy is active with her screen setting or her offensive rebounding and her aggressiveness offensively, I thought, especially in the open court, she had a couple of good reads and plays. I think it allows our spacing to flourish when those three on the floor.
Just your last biggest that you got down to and Jewel Simon. Just that play that you want to get what and what kind of.
Well, Jewel had just got hit, and so we were on the floor without her because of that. And our offensive play was trying to get a stagger for Kia on the backside with Sammy and Ezzy in the ball screen. What they did was they're very aggressive with Dangerfield on Sammy. I thought that, you know, they blew up our execution. I think if it was clean, you would have seen either a dump down to Ezzy or a three by Kia. Come on. As I saw the game, she was hurt and came out because she got hit. Hindsight, if that was the case, then yes, but I didn't. So that's how that happened.
Yeah, something about
Repeat your question one more time, Oz.
That's a veteran, you know, stats.
Yes.
It's just closing out something.
Yeah, I mean, the first game we weren't even in the game. You know what I'm saying? And so this year is going to be very fluid and a work in progress for a group that has not been together for a long time. And so through that, there are going to be growing pains. Through that, yes, I have to video game a little bit more and make sure our execution is a little bit sharper. Practice is always in the game execution as much as possible, situations as much as possible. With this group, it's just reps and practice. And I love that we were in it this early in the season. So by a few more games in, we know how to execute and what we need.
That also.
Yep, it will. I mean, we changed a lot of our schemes, a lot this game, because of the newness of our group. We have rookies, we have players who haven't been here in our system. And so again, it's about repping it and seeing it and watching video and getting better at that. And I thought with the group that was on the floor the last however long that was in the fourth quarter, the execution defensively was very sharp. We changed our execution. They kept each other accountable when we're talking. A couple of those were tough shots by Enrique. Didn't finish a couple of those possessions with rebounds, but again, it's growth. It's good for this group to learn.
First period is basically 30 points. Fourth quarter, you hold them 20. Big improvement. Kind of what were the improvements?
First of all, our rotation, who was on the floor. I thought they were very athletic and they went a little bit of small ball. So I thought that, we tried to match their athleticism with that. And so with our rotations flying around, we were a little bit sharper. In the second half, we weren't as aggressive on the ball until, isolations or whatever the case may be. We tried to keep it very simple. And I think that's what happened in the second half, just simplicity and executing, even if it's a switch with our big on a guard, just guard your yard and have each other's back and just play hard. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's something that I didn't really want to do early on in the season just because she's so deadly from the wing. But what it did is created rhythm for her, I think. And she's done it before. She's done it in this league at a high level. Being a point guard is tough. But, she kept it simple, got us in our things. Her pace was good. And I think she found some confidence within that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I talked to you guys a lot about small ball, and I think, the team that we have, I think, even we call it small, but Horson is pretty tall at that position. I think Kyla plays bigger than she is, and to create some easier buckets for ourselves by just flying around on the defensive end, making sure we rebound with that group. But I think it'll help our offense a lot if we can play with that athleticism and pace on the defensive end.
Try to focus more on defense and what we've done in game, what you try to bring the offense to what we do.
Yeah, I mean, 95 is still a lot of points to give up, but 91 shows what we're capable of on the offensive end. We'll continue to start defensively. We can hang our hat that way. What that 91 amplifies is that we were getting some stops and running out and getting some easier looks. I don't think the 91 was getting into half court and that type of execution. So we will start on defense and continue to grow our defense and get better on that end, on that side of the ball.
Going back to the comment in terms towards the end, and you said it helps you speaking in position,
Yes, with our pace, able to attack defenses without them being set. But I think the biggest thing this group has to learn is just better shot selection. When we had second side, third side, we didn't have a lot of that in the first half. Only probably 3 times if you watch the game that we got the ball reversed. So the pace doesn't also always indicate how fast you go. It is the cuts, the timing, how you're moving the ball, reversing the ball. So that. Yes, if we can play in that flow, I think that helps tremendously.
Was there anything
During in the middle, I haven't spoke with her yet after, but we will watch film and we will get better from this. I just think her, you know, she has a huge role and a huge opportunity, and there will be growing pains because she's young, but she's so gifted and she's so athletic and she's so wanting to be a good pro and get better just because she works so hard every day. But, the game has to show that with her, just her pride and how she's, her aggressiveness even. And I think I love that she's here and she is going to be better for it because of what happened today. I know she's going to be locked in and she's going to help us tremendously. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what I saw on the offensive end. She was very hesitant and she for the first 2 games in her young career, she's having to guard Asia Wilson, Candace Parker, and Satu, and Natasha Howard. And these are all stars in our league, an MVP in our league. So just imagine that with with schemes now and a big role. And so I have grace in that. And I do want her at least to be aggressive on the offensive end because that helps us defensively. Sometimes you might get the scheme incorrect, but your aggressiveness and your athleticism can cover that. That's fine. But we'll get there. We'll get there with her. I think Jordan is constantly getting advice from Jewel. And I think I saw at halftime, Jewel was, in her ear. I just think the level in which she plays at is similar. She can create her own shot. She can, defend. She can do these amazing things on the basketball court. And I think that because she is here with Jewel, she will continue to grow and learn from that and see, how you can transition to progress when games like this happen. I haven't spoke to her yet. I hope okay. I just okay. She says she's good. All right, good. Yeah, good. 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 Yeah, thanks.